Oh, hello. My name is Ernest Hemingway. Welcome to Unrevealed Excerpts, where I read portions from my many, many books that were cut by my editors, so that you may enjoy them for the very first time, as they were meant to be, unadulterated. With your permission, I shall read to you from my award-winning novel, The Old Man and the Sea. The line was biting into the flesh of his hand as the great fish circled the boat. Above him, the blinding sun left its mark across his back, unfettered by storm or cloud. He knew if he gave slack, he would capsize. Skiff left empty, sail draping the water like a flag of defeat unfurled. In that moment, the great sturgeon burst towards heaven, its scales glimmering as it danced in the air. It rose higher and higher, and as it peaked, it seemed to hang there and look directly at the man. It stayed there at its crescendo for what seemed to be forever, before he realized 5 minutes had passed and the fish had not yet descended. He didn't know what to do and tried to look straight ahead as if nothing was wrong. Maybe if he ignored it, it would go away. After several minutes, he looked at the sturgeon, and it was still just floating there, 5 feet above the water, gales moving, but otherwise perfectly still. The man picked up a magazine and pretended to read it. And that's when my editors intervened. I wanted to write a novel about a fish that floats 5 feet above the water and the inherent awkwardness of that situation. It was not to be. I shall now read to you an excerpt from my other award-winning novel, The Sun Also Rises. The bowl was a mass of sweat and trampling red rage. The late afternoon sun glanced across the matador's forehead, but for a small rivulet of perspiration, he was the motionless embodiment of artistry. His billowing cape played games in the wind, oblivious as a child to a grown argument. It was then the bowl charged, nostrils flared, eyes wide and wet. The bowl's stride widened in a moment that seemed to last forever, before the ball started gliding horizontally above the ground, with its legs straight out in front and behind it, moving only at right angles. Everyone looked straight ahead as if nothing was wrong. The matador pretended to read a magazine. And that's when my editors intervened. I wanted to write a novel about a boat that floats and moves at right angles only, and the awkwardness inherent in that situation. It was not meant to be. I will now read to you an excerpt from my award-winning novel, For Whom the Bell Tolls. We lay on our backs, the warm summer air whispering through the tall grass that concealed us. It was there I caressed her neck with my lips, memorizing and tasting the salt of each freckle brought forth by the late afternoon sun. The sky was bright above, revealing no concern, and lighting the grass with gold, warmth, and memory. As we embraced, we looked into the horizon beyond the trees, and she told me she loved me. I said I loved her as well, and it was then in the distance we saw a small boy on a horse, looking straight ahead, rising vertically into the air. The boy was trying to pretend like nothing was happening, but the otherwise motionless horse kept lowering and rising, and lowering, and then finally lowering out of view, and then all we saw was his cowboy hat lifting straight up into the sky and into the clouds with a boop sound. We were used to such things, though. It was the Spanish Civil War. New York, 1937. The swing era was in full swing. Hitler was doing his thing in Europe, which was certainly none of our business. And your peppermint patties were still 12% cocaine. I was on a case, hanging out at a local dive bar when she walked in. She was a bombshell, legs that went on forever, and golden locks that drifted everywhere. She was so beautiful it hurt my feelings. She had a sad look in her eyes. I had to be careful. Weeping dames are where babies come from. I thought for a minute she was a patron, but damn, I was wrong. She stepped on stage, and that's when I knew I had to be careful. One day when I was walking in the summer haze, a man was driving by and then I met his gaze. He licked his lips and mopped his brow as he looked at me. And then he crashed his family into an oak tree. I'm dangerous. The paramedics were the first to arrive to make sure everyone involved was still alive. They licked their lips and mopped their brow as they looked at me. And then they crashed the ambulance into an oak tree. Dangerous. Oak trees around. This was my forest. The National Guard was called to make sure things were cool. I've never seen such a group of horny fools. They licked their brows and mopped their lips as they looked at me. And then the National Guard spontaneously combusted. And then they crashed into an oak tree. God himself, the man, was like, what's the deal? This isn't right, I've got to tell her how I feel. We made eye contact and our connection was thriving. As he crashed his car, God screamed aloud, "Why am I driving?" Let me break it down for y'all. I'm so sexy, I made God buy a car, get his license, drive through traffic, and crash into a tree. Oh, blame traffic on me. I'm dangerous.